What's up, people? Mr. Anomaly coming at you again. And I wanted to I saw an interesting article about the how dating originally came to be. And we already talked about it. I mean, it's been in the space, and I definitely talked about it on this channel too, how it originated from the interaction between a prostitute and a John. That's the spirit of dating. That's the core. That's how it was born. And then they started figuring out how to commercialize it and market it with romance and Disney fairy tale, what you see right now. But that's why I said the whole dating concept, it's all fugazi. It's an illusion. Anybody playing this simulator, you deserve all the smoke, man, because it's based on nothing. Before that, you were courting. You had to go to the father. All this dating, Disney romance, TV crap, it's all bullshit, man. TLDR, man. That's pretty much the gist of this, man. But we're going to be going through this. I don't know how long. This is like fairly lengthy. We'll see. We'll just kind of skim through it here. The fascinating history of how courtship became dating. Dating is hell, but how much worse would it be if the very act landed you in jail? Yep. According to Labor of Love, the invention of dating, a sprawling new history of Moria Wego, the first female daters, face exactly that. The mistaken and their quest for love for prostitutes. Yep. So you had the regular normies who were trying to do it. As with concepts like the teenager and middle class, dating is a historically recent invention, spurred by an influx of women into the big city seeking work around the turn of the 20th century. Like I say, this is what, barely a century old? Barely a century old. Dating is barely a century old, and people are just living this like it's the gospel. Man, fleeting is a far in the wind, popular opinion. The word date was coined inadvertently, it seemed, by George A., the columnist for the Chicago Record in 1896, in a column about working class lives. He told a clerk named Artie, whose girlfriend was losing interest in him, began to see other men socially. When Artie confronts his fading love, he says, "I suppose the other boys filling in all my dates." Yep. Started getting attention from other men, losing interest. But when these single women stripped their dependency on fathers and husbands, began to be courted in public, police, politicians, and civic leaders were alarmed. In the eyes of authorities, Wego writes, women who let men buy them food and drinks, gifts, and entrance tickets looks like whores, and making a date seemed the same as turning a trick. I mean, if you really think about the whole concept of acculturated prostitution, take me out on 3 dates and you'll get some, maybe for some dudes. Other men, I can do it I'll just let you smash for nothing. The other dudes, you got to take me out. The 3-date rule. Who made that rule up? After centuries of women's fortunes began dictated by the men around them, the notion of women on their own gave much of society pause. In Chicago, single women were known as women adrift, the chastity girl. Their circumstances gave birth to dating rituals and other unfortunate traditions that still remain, or at least still cause confusion as more change today. Yeah. When women first hit the workforce, writes Wego, the belief remained widespread. They were working not to support themselves, but only to supplement the earnings of fathers or husbands. That was the belief, huh? As such, employers used this misconception as an excuse to pay women far less than they paid men. So they paid them less because they thought that they were trying to supplement earnings for their fathers and husbands. In 1900, the average female worker earned less than half of what a man would earn in the same position. If you ever wondered how it developed that men were expected to treat their dates, that's how. I mean, okay, that's fair if that was still the case, but that's not the case now. They're making as much money, if not more so, than men, and still want to be courted. Like there's that imbalance there, but it's not. That's why I said it's all bull crap. If I had to buy all my meals, I'd never get along, a young woman living in a poorhouse in Hell's Kitchen told a social worker. Yeah. But as these women were courted in public, efforts were undertaken to curb what authorities viewed as potential public menace. In the 1900s, via commission across the country, sent police and investigators to check out spots where people went to make dates. As early 1905, investigators hired a group of progressive do-gooders and were taking notes on what we can now recognize as dating. She recalls the report of one special agent staked out at the Strand Hotel in Midtown, who that The woman he was spying on did not seem like prostitutes per se, but were concerning nonetheless. The store employees, telephone, girls, stenographers. He noted that their morals are loose, and there is no question that there are terms of sexual intimacy with their male companions. So heavy was the concern that these loose, immoral women might harm society that in 1910, John D. Rockefeller Jr., the son of the Standard Oil founder, funded investigations into the commercialized vice industries of more than a dozen American cities. So heavy was the concern that these loose, immoral women might harm society. By the mid-1910s, women on dates came to be known as charity girls. As in, since they took no money for their favors, they were perceived to be giving it away as charity. And by the 1920s, the prostitutes in New York Strand Hall complained that the charity girls were putting them out of business. It sounds like a joke until you learn that some women were thrown in jail for this horrible crime. So you had charity girls who were getting dates, maybe allegedly getting favors since they took no money. And then you had the prostitutes getting mad because they were putting them out of business. So it looks like the normie women started seeing what the prostitutes were doing, and they started doing it. It sounds like a joke until you learn that some women were thrown in jail for this horrible crime. The Bedford Reformatory Institute founded to rehabilitate female delinquents in upstate New York. An Irish woman told her jailers again and again that she'd never taken money from men. Roger Weiss instead, men took her to Coney Island to dances and picture shows. In time, authorities gave up, overtaken by reality. As years passed, the Vice Squad had to accept, she writes, daters did not see these exchanges as tawdry. They saw them as romantic. So you had the normie women who started doing it as well, and the prostitutes was getting mad because the normie women was, interfering with the hustle. And so they started seeing that there was nothing they can really do about it. So then they started terming it as romantic. While dating finally became acceptable, it wasn't exactly liberating for women. An American dream for men was to work hard and become a success. The equivalent for women was to get a job and marry a rich boss. Francis Donovan, U.S. College, trained sociologist who taught at Hama High School, the city's South Side, 1920s, interviewed senior girls about their plans after graduation. I would like to be a stenographer, one announced. I'm going to be an executive secretary and marry the boss. The other alternative was for women to take jobs in high-class department stores where rich men likely to shop. These women became known as shop girls. Donna spent 2 summers working in a department store to research a book and later report she knew of several marriages and heard of a great many more where the husband was far above the wife as measured by economic scale. Magazines began running articles such as How Shop Girls Win Rich Husbands, Chasing the Bag. And then House newsletter for Mason employees in New York even included a gossip column that tracked these courtships. Have you noticed a gentleman wearing spats stopping at Mrs. Holligan's counter every day, leaving a spray of lily of the valley? Read one such entry. Best of luck to you. Best of luck. I do. What? I do. Best of luck. I do. In order to attract rich men, these shop girls were caught by the irony of needing to buy expensive items they sold. So here they go. So you got to get a rich man, so you got to buy these items. Okay. In an odd way, the consumerism marked a form of progress. So they started seeing the girl all to get the bag. It's all about money, man. They started commercializing it. Buy these products, Land. You're a rich man. You too can get you. In an early era, a girl from humble origins could not hope to look like the wife or daughter of a millionaire. But a job in a department store or laundry gave anyone opportunities to become well-versed in signs of wealth. To that end, shop girls studied their well-to-do female customers seeking to imitate their look, which led business world to pounce on this new type of consumer who sought little but to impress. They just wanted to impress wealthy guys. The cosmetic industry exploded in the 1920s. The cosmetic industry exploded in the 1920s. Previously, only prostitutes and actresses painted. Victorians have viewed natural outer beauty as a sign of clean living. I agree with that. Victorians have viewed natural outer beauty as a sign of clean living. Yep. Previously, only prostitutes and actresses painted. But around 1900, more and more women were starting to apply cosmetics. By 1912, the Baltimore Sun reported that even respectable society women were seen on our streets and fashion permanent with painted faces. To counter society's negative association with painted faces, the cosmetic industries invented a new term, makeup. So to counter that, they invented a new term using word makeup. Not only was making yourself up permissible, advertisers were soon claiming it was positively virtuous. So something that was originally for, working girls, now the normies are doing it. And so now the businesses are making money off makeup, changing the terms, make it seem virtuous. This is all about marketing. You can just fast forward to today. Girl empowered, make your money, Miss Independent, break up your homes. It's all about money, man. Divorce. You can do it by yourself. Yeah, you can raise the kids by yourself. Girl power. Your kids gonna end up in jail and fucked up. This is all about money, bro. Divide and conquer, bro. Miss Independent, be out there in the workforce. By the 1920s, cosmetics started booming. And it was something that was originally shunned, but now they changed the terminology, and then they started putting advertising it as something virtuous. Commercialism, all that is marketed to women. That's why I said I just look at what TV is spewing out. Whatever commercial is spewing out, that's what most of these women are going to be. They've been doing it since the 1920s. The it girl. Two other now familiar concepts also sprung up around this time. Previously, people sought to be known by traits that emphasize morality, such as character and virtue. The concept of personality, which places emphasis on surface traits, has been regarded in a negative reference in terms of personality disorder. So they switched it, bro. Wow. Starting around 1920s, however, Weger writes, experts began to grant that healthy individuals had personalities too. The concept began popping up in romance literature, and articles about dating, in a sense that personality was like painting. A woman could make herself up in order to appeal to men. So forget what it used to be. People previously sought to be known by traits emphasize morality and character, such as virtue and character. The concept of personality, actually having a personality. Oh, no. That's wrong. No. You need to. Personality is like painting. A way woman could make herself up in order to appeal to men. Yeah, get your makeup on, beat your face up. And now, fast forward today, what are they doing now? BBLs, anybody? Lip injections, anybody? Nips and tucks, anybody? And saying this gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. You see how they doing BBLs now. Some of them are dying over this stuff, bro. Cosmetics, it's all about money. They don't give a shit about you. I've been saying that this whole time, man. They don't care about y'all, man. It's all about money, bro. They're telling you to do all this stuff because they're just making money off y'all, man, like cattle. In the 1920s, cosmetics started blowing up, bro. In the context of dating, to have a good personality or to simply have personality meant to have charisma. This was an asset whether you were selling handkerchiefs or selling yourself. Ellen Again, writing for Cosmopolitan in 1926, referred to personality simply as it, which was, according to Wigo, a mysterious kind of animal magnetism. There we go. This romance Disney, it's gonna be that one. This gonna be Prince Charming, and we're gonna live happily ever after. With it, Gal wrote, "You win all men if you are a woman, and all women if you are a man." Well, we already know that's not true for a lot of men. Gail's article was adapted for a movie starring Clara Bow as a shop girl who has it, and the concept of the it girl was born. Bow's it girl, of course, sought to marry the boss, in this case, the son's store owner. The notion that it can be developed led to the origin of another phenomenon, the dating advice book. Weigel tells 1915 New York Times article lecturer Susan Cockcroft, who seized the trend by writing books like What to Eat and When, and this now remarkable title, Beauty a Duty. Beauty is no longer vanity, it is use. A waitress or a shop girl could be fired at any time simply because someone her boss found prettier showed up and asked her for a position. As dating rituals changed, more authorities panicked at every turn. After petting came to vogue in the 1920s, for example, Weigel's Cities Times article 1922, the modern vamp their sons at petting parties. Those evil, evil modern girls. So I gotta think about that, man. I know that was a little lengthy one. So it started out between prostitutes and Johns. Then the normie women started seeing the prostitutes in big cities doing this. This happened in big cities. So they started seeing prostitutes going on these days. So they started doing it. They weren't accepting money, but then they started seeing, hold up, these women are, they started being able to capitalize on it with advertising. They started to determine that's crazy, 1920. So it's not even a century, barely a century old, man, dating. And they capitalized on it, commercialisms, marketing. And then changed the whole concept of actually having a personality, character, and virtue. To now, you can get a rich man by just patting yourself. It's all about the makeup. Fast forward to today, BBLs, nips and tucks. Nothing news under the sun, bro. And again, it's all stemmed from an interaction between prostitutes and Johns. This is the one where everything's such, and this is kind of just bled over into everything now. The makeup magazines, the cosmetics, man, booming, bro. I don't know. I just thought that was interesting. I just wanted to share that, man. That's all I got. Latest.